welcome to Best Movie Recap channel. This time, I will introduce the zombie movie Shinkansen. Korean China arrested one truck tried to pass there. The road bridge viewing sign says slow down during trade. The approaching staff suddenly sprayed something like a disinfectant toward the truck. Potassium explains that something seems to have leaked at the bio launch ahead. The driver passes by without being convinced, but after running a little, he pulls underground and dies. I lost. The truck runs away saying it's not lucky. But then a deer that should have died. Stand up. The deer that came back to life had white eyes. Was another animal. Som, who works at a securities firm in Seoul, has a busy life. He is always thinking about work and is living separately from his wife, Nayeon. Currently, I live with my mother and my only daughter, Swan. On the day of a so, the grandmother who came home gave her daughter an expensive game console for her birthday. Tour 1. Kanai doesn't say anything. Looking closely, there was already the same game machine in Swan's room. At that moment, Sungwoo remembered that he had given the same gift before. Is there anything else you want? When Song asks, Tur replies that he wants to go to MS. For Suwon, he would rather go to Busan where his mother is than to receive an expensive gift. I was happy. Samu was reluctant, but the two of us decided to go to Nepusan the next day. Yeah. Early in the morning, Swan drove to the station. Fire trucks and ambulances run somewhere with sirens. Something happened. After that, when they arrived at the station, they boarded the train KTX 101 bound for Kusan. There were also uninvited passengers. A young woman who rushed to a GBX and trembled while muttering something alone. There was. When the train starts running, the woman salutes at the connecting part and falls down. A female flight attendant noticed something unusual and called out to her, but she stopped moving and stood up for a few minutes. And I became a zombie one day. And the zombie bites the female flight attendant's neck. High school baseball team members who try to escape to the doctor while being bitten by zombies. Run into a vehicle. I'm exhausted there, but God gets up again right after. Attack the baseball club members. Zombies attack one after another in search of prey. The train was filled with zombies in no time. After that, I witnessed a terrifying sight. I run to the vehicle behind with anxiety. So are Sang Hwa and his pregnant wife Sung Kyung. The vehicle on the other side of the door was a sight of trees. I noticed that there is sleep here. Yeah. If you close the door, the zombies don't know how to open it. Immediately after that, there is an announcement in the car that it will not be the next Chaman role due to the emergency. Masu, don't you know what's going on in the office with one of the super customers Yongseok? Stop at the job role and complain to the crew. Such a weapon-sharpening mobile phone rings. I was at home from a color mother, but I'm short of breath and I'm strange. I'm being attacked by strange people. Then the call is cut off, but the four moans on the other side. I could faintly hear a voice like, knowing that his mother is being attacked by zombies. Som's head goes blank. There were people who asked for help in the role of Chaman. Passengers in the car call for help and overlook people being eaten by zombies through the window. Get into trouble. By that time, the entire country had already been infested with zombies. Nevertheless, the government announces that the safety of the public is ensured and the situation is heading to calm down. Knowing that the next train would stop at John Station, Som called an army nurse acquaintance. The executive is Somni, and John's town has already been blocked, and passengers arriving in order will be quarantined in the central square. Talk to. Song secretly went to the East Square and promised to save himself and his daughter. But John's town was already out of control. The troops waiting in the central square and the members secretly waiting in the square in and have already been infected. I had turned into a zombie. In the end, all the passengers who got off at the station had to turn back, and many of them. I fell victim. When I looked back, I was about to attack a zombie Swan. Sanwa and Takayuki rushed in just a hair's breadth away. Swan can help in this chaos. Samu gets separated from Swan. Yongguk and Sangwa hurriedly board the train, but I don't know the safety of my family or friends. Surfer called Sung Kyung and said Sung Kyung was car number 13. Sung Kyung and Suwon are hiding in the bathroom of car no. 13. I was safe. The three men joined forces. I decided to go rescue this far. However, it was almost impossible to advance 4 cars while fighting a large number of zombies. A tailwind event happens here. The moment the train entered the tunnel, the movement of the zombies suddenly stopped. While using the zombies' characteristic that it will not attack people in the dark, the scrapers are 4 cars ahead. I went to the bathroom and succeeded in rescuing my family. After that, I decided to use the next tunnel to move to car 15, where there were no zombies yet. There are also dozens of survivors in book 15. I managed to get there, but the road for vehicles wouldn't open. The survivors of car 15 put things that are not guaranteed to be infected. When Ken sees it, he thinks it's a vehicle and shuts the door. Part 2. Entrusting my wife's Takayuki, I will continue to fight as long as I live. Saying HWA says to Sun Kyung, who can't give up on Otto. Baby's name is Soyeon. Give the name of my child who will be born in the middle of the day. Sanfa was swallowed by a mountain of zombies. The shavers manage to break through the door and enter car No. 15, but Som's anger does not subside. Hit the four legs of the leader. Why did you dye your skin? I ask, but the passengers of the vehicle have no way of looking at it. Sleep away from passengers. I decided to transfer to the connection department reluctantly. Shortly after that, a scream echoed from the vehicle, which was thought to be safe. A woman opened the door when she saw her sister in a mountain of zombies. The event left dozens of survivors. I'm sorry, but Yongseok survived by running into the bathroom first. Then the train suddenly stopped. The driver suddenly applied the brakes when he realized that the tracks were blocked. The driver rushed to the depot. When you board a moving train, it will wait on the tracks and wait for passengers. At that time, Yongseok comes running while ending up as a zombie. The driver rushes to help Yongseok, who has been on Dale, but the driver is attacked by a zombie. However, Yongseok leaves the driver alone and runs towards the train. The 2 and 3 manage to reach the train while being chased by a large number of zombies. But Yongseok, who was sitting in the chair of the suspension, had already turned into a zombie. In order to protect Suin and Sungkyung, Song fights Yonseok and gets his hand bitten by water. Seok Woo tears and carries his wounded hand to the end of the train car while the infection spreads. Inside the cockpit, Suin keeps sobbing for him while Seong Kyung attempts to restrain her. Fighting the virus, he moves cautiously toward the back of the train car and starts to remember Suin as a young child. The illness takes hold, his eyes turning white, and his veins turning dark, as he remembers his best recollections of cradling her and touching her little fingers and toes. Even though he is completely transformed into a zombie, Seok Woo still thinks of Suin and smiles joyfully toward the sky before falling off the train and onto the tracks. The tunnel leading to the Busan station is eventually reached by the train vehicle. However, there is debris blocking the track. Unaware that the Busan military is keeping watch over them on the opposite side of the tunnel, the 2 get out of the automobile and start strolling along it. They cannot determine in the dark whether they are infected or not, so when one of the snipers alerts his hire to their approach, the superior orders him to shoot them down. As the sniper prepares to fire, Suin starts to somberly sing Aloha-o to encourage the worn-out Seong Kyung to continue walking to the end of the tunnel. The troops rush to their assistance after realizing they are not sick after hearing her singing.